Well, hello again and welcome to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. I'm Tom. As always, I'm with my wonderful, intelligent, gorgeous, very hardworking, West Coast adventure-loving wife and co-host, Michelle.
Woo! Oh, thank you, sweetie, and hi, everybody.
So good to have you with us. We are recording this episode on time, on the right date, on Sunday, February 8th. 2026. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're listening to this as the pregame warm-up for your Super Bowl festivities. But just in case you didn't, we're going to cut this in two different ways. We're going to say, yay, Patriots, way to go. Good job on getting that championship. Okay, edit right there. Way to go, Seahawks. We knew you had it all along. Good job. Way to go on that championship. Another one for you as well.
You're so funny.
Anyway, we have some fun. Maybe I'm getting a little delirious from our trip getting back, but we had a great time and we're looking forward to talking all about it on today's episode. But before we move forward, you know, we like to take a look back because we are the Disney podcast of positivity, and we like to focus on those high moments, those wonderful moments, those positive moments from the week that was. We call it My Favorite Thing from This Week. And when we do that, well, of course, we start with Michelle because she's amazing, wonderful, all things good in the world. You know, she does the best research. She plans the best trips. She also always has the best My Favorite Thing from this week. So, Michelle, what was your favorite thing from this week?
Well, my favorite thing from this week actually goes back a whole week from today, and that is when I got to see you complete the half marathon over at Disneyland. I was so proud of you, and it was such an exciting time. And then to top it off, we went into Disney California Adventure Park and spent time with family out there, and it was just an amazingly fun day.
Yes, everything that we're going to talk about for the next couple of weeks are my favorite things from this week, including that. We'll be getting into that here momentarily, and some of that stuff that she talked about next week, because our episode could be kind of long anyway. We decided to go ahead and split it up into 2 weeks. At first, we thought we may be doing 3 weeks, but we're doing 2 weeks. So, yeah, Sensible, that is definitely my favorite thing from this week. But
Bravo, sweetie.
Thank you. But since we'll be talking about that in a little bit, I'm going to point out something else that is my favorite thing from this week. And we finally got to check it out just yesterday. We got home. We had difficulties trying to check it out where we were, but we got home yesterday. One of the first things we had to put on was the brand new version of The Muppet Show. And bravo.
It was awesome.
Bravo.
Cinema.
It is cinema. It's phenomenal. It's incredible. It's nostalgic and yet modern all at the same time. It's everything we want from the Muppets. Please, please, please keep that energy rolling. Please pick that up. We need more Muppet Show in our lives, especially right now. Please, please, please keep that ball rolling. Right, Michelle?
Absolutely, yeah. We loved it. We loved it. That was great. The other thing that was great that we got to watch was now that the Olympics are going on, the Winter Olympics, and it's been fun watching some of the events and enjoying that as well.
Yep, in and around the Muppet Show.
Yes.
We watched many, many Olympic events over the last couple of days, and we are big Olympics fans. Especially, I think we like the Winter Olympics almost just a little bit more than the Summer. We love all the Olympics, but the Winter Olympics just a little bit more. So we are very excited for all this. So we'll be watching that, and we'll be doing that in and around the Super Bowl as well, which is crazy that there's all that going on. But yeah, that's not fun. But anyway, yes, The Muppet Show. If you haven't seen it, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Watch it again if you have seen it. Please, please, please. We have to save the Muppets because they're amazing and they're good and they're all things that we need right now. So please check that out.
Yeah, I think this was a home run, and I think hopefully it sparked enough enthusiasm for it that there'll be more.
Yeah. And Sabrina Carpenter was A+.
Yeah, she was great.
The first guest host. She's got it. She can sing. She can do a little acting.
Right.
You know, she is definitely, we've seen her on Saturday Night Live be a sketch character. She can do that kind of stuff. So she was great. I can't wait to see, because I do believe we're going to see more of this. I can't wait to see who they come up with as their next host and how they plan to format it, whether it's going to be a limited series or like a regular event, like every few months they'll just drop a new one. We'll see. But anyways, exciting stuff. All right, let's go ahead and move on to this week's show. We do have a lot of stuff for you this week, including we have a not so surprising change of leadership announcement for the Walt Disney Company. Yes, we'll be talking all about that and telling you what our thoughts are on it. If you're looking to add some happy haunts to your wedding guest list, we have some good news for you. We'll tell you about that as well. And as we all know, hashtag Real Men Love Frozen, and that includes Frozen Ever After. We're going to get to tell you when you'll have your first chance to experience the updated version of that attraction, and it's coming very, very soon. Yes. But that's all later. Let's go ahead and get to our very Run Disney San Diego main topic of the week.
Don't stop me, don't stop me, ha, ha, ha. Don't stop me, don't stop me, ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me, wow, wow, wow. Don't stop me, have a good time.
So yes, as you probably know, because we've shared it everywhere multiple times over several months, we just got back from our West Coast trip, and it was jam-packed of so much good stuff. At one point, we thought we might need to do 3 episodes because there was so much stuff. We pared that back a little bit. We'll talk about why coming up here soon. But we do have enough stuff that we need to do 2 different parts. Next week, we're going to focus on just Disneyland in general because we love Disneyland. We're out there for the 70th anniversary celebration. We have lots of stuff to talk just about Disneyland. But for this week's episode, we're going to focus on the first part and the last part of our trip, which was Disneyland Race Weekend, which could be the last race. It's definitely the last race weekend for at least a few years. Hopefully not the last overall. I'm going to keep a good thought for that. And also, we also went on a trip to San Diego near the end, our old stomping ground. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, Michelle.
Right. I do want to point out, I know we're not going to be talking about our Disneyland portion of the trip, but shout out to Disney California Adventure Park that is celebrating its 25th anniversary today. A lot of fun things going on there. Wish we could be there right now. There's a popcorn bucket that I really don't know that I can live without, but I guess I will. But a lot
of people that couldn't live without that popcorn bucket if you saw the lines yesterday. Pretty insane.
Yeah. But some fun food and other activities. So such a great park, and glad to see that it's celebrating its anniversary now.
Yes. 25. Yeah.
To date.
Yep. And if you remember our episode from, God, we recorded it so long ago. I know it only dropped a week ago, but we recorded it nearly 2 weeks ago. Our 25 favorite things about Disney California Adventure Park. That's still out there for you to listen to if you have not checked that out yet. But yeah, very happy anniversary at Disney California Adventure Park. We had some good times at Disney California Adventure Park. That will be talked about more next week for sure. So let's start on to part 1 of our West Coast adventure. We're going to start with our travel.
I was going to say, are you going to bring in the journey?
We need to start with our travel because this is a portion of what went on with the beginning of our trip. So everything was going very, very smoothly. We knew that there was crazy weather in the country and flights were getting canceled and delayed, and we were checking things out. As a matter of fact, Michelle woke me up the night before and was like, I think we need travel insurance. I'm like, no, we don't need travel insurance. She's like, well, our flight's been canceled like 2 nights in a row. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll get travel insurance. So we did get travel insurance, which is a good thing. We'll talk about that in a moment here. But everything seemed to be going smoothly. We traveled out last Wednesday. What was it? January
28th, I think.
I believe that's right. January. Let me go check the calendar just to be sure here. Yes, 28th. Very good memory,
Thank
Michelle.
you.
Much better than mine. Yes.
And we should point out, we had specifically did non-stops from Orlando to LAX thinking, okay, we're in good shape, no connections. And especially once the weather was, really hitting the northern part of the country, we thought we were golden.
Yes. Well,
thought that.
Not so much. We get to the airport. We had Michelle's sister and brother-in-law were kind enough to drive us over to the airport there. We get there. We had done, which, by the way, you should do this if you ever go to
Early tip.
yes, to Orlando Airport, fly out of there. You can reserve your time to go through TSA. You can reserve it in advance. You want to jump on that. I think you can do it a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
You want to jump on that your first opportunity. So we had done that, and everything was looking good. We got there. We were a little bit early for that reserved time. So we're like, great, let's, we'll go hit the restroom up. And then we'll go through reserved time. And then just as I was walking to the restroom, my phone got a text that say, oh, guess what? Your flight's been delayed by 3 hours. Michelle's sister and brother-in-law had left. We had no transportation. We were sitting there writing that out for 3 hours in the airport, Michelle.
Yeah, at the Orlando airport, which we like, but what can you do for 3 hours?
Yes. Plus we have we had a reserved time to get through TSA.
Right.
I mean, I guess we didn't have to do that. We could have gone through and ate somewhere and gone through later when at our convenience. Fine. But we decided to keep up that and go to the other side. We did find a little bite to eat when we were over there and everything. We did bide our time, sat there in the terminal and around, took some walks around. And then finally our time came. Our plane showed up, plenty of time. Most of our crew showed up, plenty of time. We got up, we boarded our plane at the time they told us we were going to. We sat there for about an hour, scratching our heads going, what is going on? Why haven't we left yet? Then one of the flight attendants came on and said, well, we're just waiting on the pilots. They're on the tarmac on another plane. They should be here in just a little bit. Great. Okay, fine. We're a little bit late. We'll still get there. We'll get going. Then about a half an hour later, oh, we got another delay. Oh, guess what? Your flight's not leaving until 10:30 now. Okay.
Yeah, so that was another 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And then they tell us everybody's going to have to leave the plane. Great. Fantastic. We get off the plane and pretty much immediately after we got the plane, they're like, yep, no, we're actually going to delay this flight. There's no pilots. We're going to delay this flight until tomorrow morning. So, okay, good thing is they gave us a hotel. They gave us 2 $12 food vouchers, not for each of us, $12 each, and a ride to our hotel, which we took advantage of. Actually, it was a little difficult for us. At first, they didn't give it to us because they saw we were kind of local. Right. We were like, well, we live an hour and 20 minutes away. We don't have a ride. We do want that hotel, please. Yes. So we did take that up. Went to was it Residence Inn by SeaWorld?
Right.
Which was fine. There's nothing wrong with that hotel.
Yeah, and I don't know if you mentioned this because I was coughing, but they did say they were going to keep the luggage that was checked luggage. So all you could leave with is whatever you carried on. And fortunately, since we're seasoned travelers, we were kind of situated in a good spot because of that. Right.
So this was us on board. For those of you watching on YouTube, this was us on board the first flight. We look very happy, and then this is us on the next morning on the flight. You'll notice I have a hat on because I have no hair product because that was in my checked luggage. Luckily, we did have a bag. Each of us have a bag with us with a change of clothes and some other things. That was a carry-on bag. So we weren't desperate in the situation, but they're fine. By the way, the flight even got delayed again. It was now pushed back to 10:30 in the morning on the next day, which was Thursday. But we all got to the terminal. We're there, and pilots showed up, and everyone applauded.
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you for being there, pilots. Yay!
Right. And one of the things we were really concerned about is this was our deadline day to get into California in time to pick up our bibs for the following day's race. So we were very concerned in terms of timing and if things were going to be canceled for another day.
Luckily, we know travel, and we know that on something like that, you want to give yourself a day buffer. It worked for us. Barely.
Right.
But it did work for us. That when pilots get on, and then we're getting ready to go again, and they're like, wait a minute, we're delayed again because there was a load and balance issue. They came on, the captain came on. We have a weight and balance issue with the flight. So we need to see about moving some people around and possibly some luggage. And that's what they do. They moved a couple people. They moved some luggage. Then we got off and we pulled away from the gate. And then we stopped down on the tarmac. And suddenly the engine's revving and we're going nowhere. And the pilot comes on and is like, well, because of this weight and balance issue, we need to burn off some fuel. So we sat there for, 10, 15 minutes, just revving the engines, going nowhere, burning the fuel. I'd never experienced that, but that was something.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, it was just, we just kept wondering, is this really going to happen for us or not? Is this just, are they going to eventually say, well, we burnt off too much fuel that we can't get all the way to our final destination? It was just like, what next?
But finally we did get off the ground. We did get the plane. It was actually a really nice flight.
Yeah, very smooth.
It's always a long flight, especially when you're going east to west, because you're fighting headwinds a little bit, so it's a little bit longer. But it was a really, really nice, smooth flight. Got to LAX later than we expected by 18 hours or something. But even that day, later than we expected. Had to get a ride share, which is always what we had planned on doing, to Disneyland from there. Knowing that we needed to get there, get our bibs, maybe do some shopping if we had any time, get our shirts, everything else. And then we were meeting somebody at 5:30 that afternoon. We didn't land until 3-ish or something like that. Got our ride share. Disneyland is LA traffic on a Thursday afternoon. Of course, it takes a little longer, but we did get to Disneyland in time that we were able to check into our hotel. Our hotel room became available right as we arrived. Right. Checked into our hotel at the Disneyland Hotel. Went over, got our bibs, got our shirts. Everything went fine, but then just had enough time for that. We could not do any shopping. We could not really visit the expo. We had to walk through there to kind of get out. We could not really go through the expo, because we were meeting this other person that we were really, really excited to meet at downtown Disney at 5:30, and we were pushing up against it at that point, right, Michelle?
Yeah, it was just very crazy. I mean, first of all, we knew LAX is not the most ideal airport when you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel, but we did it because, one, we thought we were going to be there a day in advance, and we're just going to stay in LA for one night. But anyways, just so people don't think, why did you go to LAX? We wanted the direct flight, and we were doing it a day in advance.
There was no direct flights to Orange County. There were no direct flights to Orange County Airport, or there were to San Diego. We could have flown to San Diego. Right. In hindsight, maybe we should have flown to San Diego, but we wanted to be a little bit closer. And then there are other airports you can use. You can use Burbank. You can use Ontario. You can use Long Beach. There are other airports around, but none of them are direct flights from Orlando to theirs. The only one was to LAX, and we thought we were doing great with that. Still worked out. We got what we needed to do. Met that person, had a wonderful, wonderful discussion, sat there for a couple hours and just talked with this person. It may come to some things that
true Disney historian.
Yeah, something that may come in the future. We'll let you know if that happens. But it was a really great time. It got a little late. We didn't really make it. The expo was closing down, and we needed to get some dinner because we were starving at that point. So got some dinner, and then we knew we needed to get to bed because we have to be up at 3 a.m. for our run, Disneyland 5K the next day, Michelle.
Yeah. So by the time we landed in LAX to the time we had to, get up to go to the race, was 12 hours. Yeah. So we put in a lot in that 12 hours.
It was
not a lot of sleep, but a lot of things.
Not a lot of sleep is kind of going to be part of this whole trip, both this week and next week, but that's okay. It was a really, really amazing trip. So get up early, go to the Disneyland 5K, get in our outfits. And the one benefit of the Disneyland races versus the Walt Disney World races is, for most people, I mean, it depends on where your hotel is, but for most people, you don't really need any transportation to get you there. You can hoof it there. For the Disneyland 5K, it's much shorter. It's a little bit far, well, at least from where we were. Mm-hmm. If you're in some of the offsite hotels, it's probably a little closer to some of the other, for the 10K and the half marathon, which we're starting in different locations. But the 5K is really close to us because it starts right on Main Street, US, or at least the corral set up right on Main Street, USA, which is one of the greatest things about the Disneyland 5K, Michelle.
Oh, it's ultimately my favorite race is the Disneyland 5K, just because, like you said, you're starting on Main Street, USA. There's a lot of excitement in the air. There's, all the what do you call it? The projections on Main Street. Every once in a while, there's some fireworks going on. It's just, it's pumping. It's exciting. And you're on Main Street, USA.
It's the only race that I know of that kicks off right there in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
That alone should be enough. But then they do things like they have a bit of a fireworks show right to kind of before we all started. We're all in our corral sitting there. It's about 15 minutes before the first racers are supposed to go out. And they play The Best Day of My Life by American authors and do a fireworks show over the castle and down Main Street, USA, with projections and everything, people singing. Phenomenal.
It is.
And we haven't even started running yet.
I know. It is just, it is all the feels, so much fun, nostalgia, excitement, it just is fabulous. I can't even think of the words to really describe how wonderful of an experience it is there.
Right. So we're there on Main Street, USA in our outfits, which if you're looking, you probably saw it on social media. We posted them. But if you can see us on YouTube, you can see our outfits there. Most people did not know what we were. I'm not gonna lie about this.
We picked obscure characters.
Right. So the theme of the 5K was Inside Out. We picked the subconscious guard. So basically the police officers inside Riley's head. Most people, I think, thought, I guess it's top of mind, and I get it. We were part of the ZPD, the Zootopia Police Department, which is fine. I love the ZPD. I love it all. So it was fine. But it was funny. Most people didn't know who we were, although people did like our outfits, for sure. For sure. But that was a lot of fun. So yeah, we finally got off. I think we were in Corral C. We got off on our race course, and here, if you're looking on YouTube, you can see the projections on Sleeping Beauty Castle right there on Disneyland. That's as we were walking up to the start line, which is right between Sleeping Beauty Castle and the Matterhorn. So I mean, come on,
I know,
icons, amazing. Then we started our race, and so much fun. So many great characters throughout the course. Music. One of the other great things about the Disneyland 5K is it takes place entirely in the park. You're either backstage or you're in the park for the entire 5K through Disneyland, through Disney California Adventure Park. It's the only 5K that I know of that runs through a castle. So you get that as well. Add all the characters in, all this stuff is going on, the music, the DJs, the fun, being in the parks, which is lit up beautifully. Disney California Adventure Park couldn't be more stunning than it is at night. It is the most fun single run Disney race, in my opinion. I think you agree with me, Michelle.
Absolutely, 100%. It is just, even though it's a short run, it is just so filled with excitement. Everybody around you is happy and excited. You get to see some things that you would never see. For example, we got to see the backstage area where the horses.
That was the first time I think that I can recall. We've run backstage at Disneyland several times. The first time I recall running past the corrals where the horses that do like the Main Street transportation, like that tow the trolley up and down, were there. I was running by and I got a whiff. I'm like, there's animals around. I'm like, oh, there's the horses. Wow, cool.
Yeah, so neat. And, you have the cast members there and they're cheering you on as well. And it's so... I'm just repeating myself, but it is exciting and it is so fun. And I wish we could do that again. I wish there was a way to do that similarly at Orlando. There really isn't. So I'm looking forward to when they bring this back because, again, the 5K is the best experience.
Right. I think because they could really sort of do something like that with... And they have in the past. Well, not with the castle. You can't get the castle. There's no way you can run a 5K just at Magic Kingdom. Well, maybe you could. It'd be an awfully windy course. Yeah. Maybe you could. But you could experience it between Disney's Hollywood Studios and EPCOT. I mean, when you do the 5K at EPCOT, you do get a lot of EPCOT.
Right.
It is good. You don't get the castle aspect. You
Right.
don't get the fireworks aspect. You don't get all this other stuff. That's great. You don't get 2 parks in a 5K.
Right.
You
And your
don't.
corrals are in the parking lot.
Right.
So it's not that build up as much as what you get when you're waiting on Main Street, USA. You know.
And this is not to tell you that all Run Disney races aren't fun. They're all
They're
fun.
all
There's a reason
fun.
why we keep coming back for all these races. They are all fun. But this is the most fun singular race. Again, in my opinion, in Michelle's opinion, for sure. Some of the characters we saw on the course, I'm not going to remember all of them, but some of them that I remember, of course, Joy was out there. It was Inside Out themed. Red Guardian from
my
Thunderbolts
hilarious.
and Black Widow was out there at Avengers Campus, and he was hilarious, as you would expect Red Guardian to be.
Yeah, he was on top of the building and he was, cheering people on in his funny language and stuff.
And responding to people that were calling. Up to him. It was great. Chopper from Star Wars Rebels and also Ahsoka was out there greeting guests. Do you remember any other specific characters that we saw? I know there were a lot more than that.
There were a lot more. I'm trying to think of ones that you wouldn't expect. There was, Mickey and Minnie were out there, and you could do selfies with them really quickly. They had, I think you mentioned the Inside Out characters were there. But yeah, lots of them. I can't think of others.
Yeah, I know there were a lot more than that. My brain between, because I ran the half marathon too, and I saw characters there, and what I saw at the 5K. Don't, just because we said only those many characters, believe me, there were a ton more characters than that. But it was great, and both those parks are stunning when it's dark. So all the better. It was great. You finish up right there at DCA, right in front of the lagoon, across from the Pixar Pal Around, the Mickey Wheel, the Incredicoaster, and everything. So everybody was getting photos in front of that spot to show off their medals. For those of you on YouTube, you can see me in the picture on the side there, and apparently I don't know which side of my medal to show. Let me zoom in on that because it's pretty funny. Michelle's showing the right side as she would. I'm showing the back side, which is, very typical me. But it was great, and it's perfect. And you're right there, and then you do your stuff. You hang out for a little bit of time. They welcome guests that are cheering you on into that section, so they can get into the park as well and cheer you on, which is phenomenal. All the cast members are great. I love them all for all the Run Disney races. This one and the one we're about to talk about in a moment here. Amazing. It was so good. I'm so sad Disneyland is going. I understand why. I'm so sad it's going away for a few years. Please, 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 Run Disney. Please, 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 Disneyland. Don't let it go by the wayside. Bring these back when you can, because the energy and how fun they are is it's all about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to, because it is something that they, definitely get a lot of people in and people into the parks and everything. So it definitely has a benefit for them. But yeah, I mean, right now they're closing because of all the construction for the expansion plans that are going to be going on. So it makes sense that they can't do it for a little while. But yeah, I can't wait for them to return.
Yeah, we saw some of that construction that's going on, especially in Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
We saw a little bit of that. I don't know if we'll talk about that next week, but we did see that going on, and it's great.
Yeah.
Good stuff ahead for Disneyland. But yeah, it was just a really, really, really fun race day, Michelle.
Yeah, it was the best. I couldn't have asked for anything better. The weather was perfect. It was cold enough to be, not overheated. There's no humidity at all there.
It was very little. It was really dry. We had some Santa Anas coming in. It was very dry.
It was very dry. It was warmer than it was out here in Florida for the same time frame.
By a lot.
By a lot. But it's just like whatever you can imagine, being in the parks and being able to run with all these other fans that are Disney fans that are there and run, and I even remember in the corral waiting, hearing somebody who was planning to do, I think all the races that weekend. And she says, yeah, the 5K here in the parks, this is why we pay to go on the 5K.
Yep.
It's because it's just phenomenal.
It is great. It really, if you can pick one Run Disney race once they come back to Disneyland, if you can only pick one, this is the one. Really is. And don't care. You can be at any level. You can be somebody who runs, you can run dopey, you can run all the marathons, you can do whatever, and you can enjoy yourself. You can be someone starting from never running your life, and you will enjoy this.
Yeah,
race.
we saw a lot of walkers.
Lots of walkers. It's absolutely zero problem doing that. Do it. Do it when they come back, assuming they're coming back. And I'm keeping a good thought that they are coming back at some point. So ran that race, got back, had breakfast, did our thing, went to the parks, had our fun. We were going to go back to the expo because we had not done any shopping yet. We needed to do some shopping. So we finally got back to the expo, went in and checked out. And Michelle got her 5K pin. I was like, I'm holding out. I'm not getting the 5K pin. I'm getting the half marathon pin. I like having pins for my races, but I wanted specifically, she'll have the 5K, so that covers us there. I'm going to get the half marathon. Oh, one problem. They are sold out.
Yeah.
No half marathon pins left. We waited we weren't there for, till late on the very first day of the expo. Even if we wanted to, I don't even know if they were there that day. The next day, maybe if we had gone there early in the morning, but I'm not even sure about that. No pins there, so I am without my half marathon pin. So I'm putting it out there in the world right now. I'm not going to pay crazy eBay prices. I know there's people that bought them up and are selling them on eBay for insane eBay prices. However, if anybody should have an extra 2026 Disneyland half marathon pin and is willing to take face value and I'll pay for shipping, please contact us, Hyperion Adventures Podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah.
I will buy that off you. But I don't expect it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It was still good. Race weekend was good. I'm just a little disappointed I didn't get my pin.
I know. The medal is wonderful, but yeah, having that extra pin is really sweet and nice. And like you said, I don't know that even the first day, if they would have been available for us when we went shopping, because the first day of the expo is virtual queues for time in to shop because it is so popular.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And we haven't run into this at Walt Disney World recently. Usually the pins have been available a day or so afterwards for all of them. But Disneyland's a little bit different, especially with merch.
Right.
They're a little different than Walt Disney World. So know that when they come back going in, if you have the opportunity, get it when you get the chance to, because you may miss out on that item you really want.
Exactly.
But it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, we didn't do the 10K. We had a day in between. We did Disneyland. We'll talk about that next week. By the way, if you want to hear probably more of a totally all-encompassing race weekend, since we did not do the 10K, our friends, the Stride Sisters.
Right.
I know at least one of them, Natalie, was out there for this race. Check them out. Check them out anyway if you're a Run Disney fan. They got great stuff. She was out there for all the races, I believe. I know she was out there for the 10K and everything, so check that out. Back to our race. Yes, did some park stuff. Tried to call it as early. Tried to not use up my legs as much as possible, but still want to be at the Disney parks and at Disneyland. How often are we getting to Disneyland? But it was all good. It was just me getting up for the half marathon. So got up early.
Oh, I got up with you.
You did get up with me.
And I stayed up.
You did. And all credit to Michelle. She had no need to do that except for me, fumbling around in the room, making coffee and having some breakfast or anything was where I'm going. Thank you, sweetheart, for getting up with me and for everything that you did that day.
That was nothing like running a half marathon.
Yeah. So I got up and walked out by myself after Michelle had gotten up with me. This is a bit farther to get, at least from the Disneyland hotel. Like if you're staying in some of the off-site hotels, might have been a little closer to where the start-finish line is for the 10K and the half marathon. It's on Disney Way, which is kind of by like the Garden Walk Center. There's a bit of a parking lot by there. It's kind of directly straight across from almost where Mission Breakout is, the building for that. Yeah. So if you were to like draw a line east from Disney California Adventure Park, there's a street there. That's where they were starting the 10K and the half marathon. That's where I was for the half marathon. I was in Corral E because that was the earliest corral I could get without having a time to post there. I did not have a time worthy of posting there to get me anything better, but it was probably a good corral for me because it was about the speed I was looking to go. So I think I was actually placed in the right position. It was about middle of the corrals, of all the corrals they had that existed.
Right. And although I didn't find out till later, they did have transportation from Disneyland Hotel to the area.
Which we found out after I walked my 4,500 steps just to get to there, but it's a good warm up. It's all good. Got to the corral, a lot of fun, a lot of energy, great talk from all the hosts that are there, getting everybody excited, getting everybody stepped up. They're pointing out that, there's only 1% of the people in this country, maybe even the world, that are willing to go out and do a half marathon, so no matter what your time is,
right,
like you're one of 1% of people that would do that. So that was kind of a cool thing to say.
Yeah.
Interesting, because this wasn't in the Disney parks or in the Disney, specifically a Disney parking lot, it was a street, and it is California. No fireworks like when everybody started. They would have a big, countdown, and then each corral would start. And they had a little smoke, but no actual fireworks going off. But that was fine. It was fine. Still great. Going on. It was small world themed, the race. You'll see in my gear that we've in our new logo. Right. One of our new logos, one of our new shirts was what I wore for that. But everybody had great. It's a small world stuff on, and of course all sorts of different Disney characters and everything. Everybody had a lot of fun. Yes.
I think one of the things that I pointed out to you that I've noticed the difference between Florida and California on the Run Disney events in California, people really do, everybody dresses up, but of all aspects of Disney. So you see a lot of variety. Whereas at Walt Disney World, there's more tendency to go with the theme of that race. Not specifically always, but you tend to see more of that.
Yeah, I do believe that. I wonder if that's because you get the more opportunities to possibly experience races on the East Coast than you do, at least now, on the West Coast. So maybe people like, I want different outfits for all of these because I'm running in so many races, whereas over on the West Coast, it's like this may be the only race I run.
Right.
So I'm going to break out my best Disney outfit for it.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's the case. But it was cool. The course itself, we started running down that way, and then the streets nearby Disneyland, and then into Disney California Adventure Park. And most of the first, I think, 5 miles of the race was through the park, starting with Disney California Adventure Park, going through Disneyland. Great shots throughout it. We got to run through Cars Land, which was amazing. Of course, Pixar Pier, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I think we actually hit up a couple times on that. It's a Small World, which was all great projections going on. Again, it's the Small World themed race. Fantastic. Of course, over by the Mickey Wheel, the Pixar Pal Around, all of that. Really, really great. And yes, of course, we did get to run down Main Street, USA, and again, through the castle. Yeah. Again, one of the few races that you get to run through the castle at Disneyland. All these Disneyland races you get to run. I think even at the 10K, you got to run through the castle.
Oh, cool.
So all of them, you got to run through the castle. Walt Disney World, only Princess Half Marathon, and I believe the actual full marathon, I believe, are the only races that you get to go through Cinderella Castle. So again, if you're looking through a castle, fine. If you want to run through a castle, these are the races for you. As far as characters I saw in the parks, again, I will not be able to name them all. I do remember seeing Lightning McQueen and Mater, of course, over at Cars Land. Joy and Sadness over on Pixar Pier. Captain America, it was a couple captains, Captain America and Captain Marvel in Avengers Campus. Woody and Jesse I saw out there. Lilo and Stitch I saw out there. Many, many more characters that I will never remember them all. I'm not really a person who likes to stop and take pictures with characters when I'm on these runs, but I do appreciate them being out there and always enjoy when I see the unique characters that are on the course.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd love to stop and get the pictures. The problem is the lines are just so incredibly long that it's like, okay, we're losing a lot of time by stopping there. But.
Right. And of course, all the majors were out there. Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, Donald, all the Sensational Six were all out there as well. It's so fun. So the one thing I was concerned about with this race, and I know it's part of the reason why you decided you were not going to do this race, was because once you leave those 5 miles through the Disneyland parks itself, you're out on the streets of Anaheim. And yes, the streets of Anaheim are everything you think of in the streets of Anaheim. Nothing wrong with Anaheim. Love Anaheim, but it is running through the streets of Anaheim. One thing I will say about running through the streets of Anaheim, the people were amazing on there. So many people. Yes, of course, friends, family were out rooting on people, but so many just people that were in the area coming out, putting out lounge chairs, cheering everybody on, signs, giving out things like there was a table giving out friendship bracelets. There was somebody else giving out pickle spears. Because pickle and the saltiness and everything, the brine is good for you on these races. Yeah. They were giving those things out. The Anaheim Ducks were represented out there. Wild Wing, their mascot was out there, as well as some of the Ducks kind of pep squad, which I believe are called the Ducks Power Players. I think they were out there as well. There were DJs, there were bands, all sorts of different style of bands at different moments throughout the course. They made it much better than just running through the streets of Anaheim. I did enjoy that part more than I expected to.
Yeah, I think, in hindsight, I think I would have probably been okay with it and probably would have appreciated all that, the love you get from the community and stuff. So kudos to them for putting that together and everybody coming together.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They were good, and about every mile and a half or so, there were water, there was Powerade, so we were able to keep really, really well hydrated. Me and hydration. I was hitting up the hydration throughout it. Food stop around about mile 9 or 10, where you get a little packet of these. They're like energy gels. That were really, really good. I really enjoyed those. As a matter of fact, I was thinking maybe I need to start purchasing those because they're really, really good. And they did help. And yeah, I did the race, and I did the race better than, I was shooting for, knowing that I was going from 0 to half marathon again. I had not run consistently in a long time. And then I got injured to begin with when I first started training and had to even start even more. So I was doing I'm going to run 2/3 of it, walk 1/3 of it. So every mile I would walk a half mile, run a mile, walk a half mile. And I stayed to that pace, did very, very well. Started a little slow, mostly because I really needed to hit up the restrooms to begin with because I was hydrating well. But as it was going on, I was feeling strong. I picked up the pace as I went along. Ended up with a time, I was looking for a time anywhere from 12.5 minute mile average to a 13.5 minute mile average, depending on conditions, depending on, characters, depending on photo stops, depending on bathroom breaks, everything else. And I ended up pretty close to that. I ended up with I think it was a 13 minute, 13 second mile pace, finished at 2:53 and some change. And I was really, really happy with that.
Yeah, it's great.
It's been a long time. I ran a quicker half marathon than that in my last Disney half marathon, but that was 8 years ago. Yeah, almost 8 years ago that I did that. So I was in much better shape then. I was carrying around about 10 to 15 pounds less then, and I was much younger then. So I'm really, really happy with how this all finished out. And yes, did get across the finish line, got my medal. Oh, the medals were spectacular again
the medals
this year.
Were
all of them.
So fire.
We got our 5K, we got our half marathon medal. Great. Saw the 10K medals with Sorcerer Mickey. Those were fantastic as well. Loved it. One interesting story when I'm running down to the finish line. So I'm running down the last, little bit of it, about the last, past the 13 mile mark to the 13.1. And you wind a corner. I'm coming around the corner. I'm looking for Michelle. And there she is. I see Michelle and she's waving. Hi. I'm like, hey, sweetheart. And I look, I'm like, what are you doing with a giant trophy in your arms? I was very perplexed. I knew where the trophy was, but I was extremely perplexed why she had the big trophy. And I was like scratching my head as I'm running across the finish line. But it's a funny story, right, Michelle?
Yeah, yeah. Well, first of all, you deserved it, honey. You deserved the big hoopla.
It's not my trophy. It's her trophy, which she earned. She deserved that trophy.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember if you've listened to our episode, probably about a month and a half ago, Tom announced that I won our family college football pool. And so part of that comes with a trophy that you get to keep for a year with your name on it. And so I mentioned we were going to meet up with some family. Well, it was last year's winner who was actually meeting up with us, who had already gotten my name put on it, and texted me literally 5 minutes before I was leaving to go meet you at the finish line, because I knew if I waited any longer, I wasn't going to make it in time. And so I get this text, where can I meet you to give you the trophy? And I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this trophy? I knew I wouldn't, they were nearby, so I could meet up with them and get the trophy. But I knew I didn't have time to actually even though they came to our hotel, I did not have time to go back to the room to put the trophy. So I had them take me as close to the finish line as possible, and I walked the rest of the way with the trophy. Security they didn't give me really a hard time. He was like, why do you have a trophy? And I said, well, because my husband just did a half marathon. Why else would I have a trophy? I said, but actually it's mine, but I want to congratulate him in a big way.
So that security was fine.
Yeah.
Or, we got all our stuff together, got our pictures taken. We didn't see the shuttle, and I was fine. We walked back to our hotel, but to get back to our hotel, we have to go through. Well, I mean, we could have gone the long way around, but I wasn't doing that.
Right.
We needed to go through security into downtown Disney and the Disneyland, in the Esplanade, and between Disneyland, Disney California Adventure Park. Get to security, and the security guard was looking at you like he's looking through another bag, and he's just staring at you like, "What do you have in your arms?" She's got this giant trophy.
I should have brought it out here so people could see how
that's true
big it is.
So the security guard's like, and we're just telling him, like, look, we're not going in the parks. We're not even staying in downtown Disney. We're just going to the Disneyland Hotel on the other side, and we're going to drop it all off there. And he's like, oh, well, I got to get this checked out with the supervisor, and call the supervisor over there. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. But go right to your hotel and do not come back with it.
Don't bring it out again.
Yeah. No problem. Not an issue. So we headed back. One funny thing, sort of funny. We did not show you any real finish line photos from either the 5K or the half marathon. From the 5K, the reason, and we're not giving any shade. Totally respect this person for doing it. Happy they did it. It just happened to be like maybe kind of messed with our photo, but again, no shade. Good for this person. There was someone right in front of us that did a big jump right across the finish line, right in front of us, and kind of took out most of our, split us and took out most of our faces. I mean, if you went back to the picture, you could see Michelle crossing the finish line. I was able to cut most of that person off and have Michelle with their hands in the air. But we were either going to have no photo with us in it, or a photo where she looks like we're running with her.
Right.
Which is fine. I have no problem with that either, but no finish line. Then for the half marathon, I don't know what's gone on. I've reached out to runDisney about this. I only have there's 3 finish line photos, and they're all just portions of me. There's no full photo of me.
It's crazy.
I felt like there were enough photographers there, and I was open enough that there should have been a finish line photo of me, but there was no clear one. So I don't really have one. I'm still hoping that runDisney responds to that and can find some photo, because I really would love a finish line photo. If not, I have other great photos. It's fine. But I would really love a great finish line photo from that race.
You want that memento for that, big accomplishment.
Yeah, that's my only one real pet peeve.
Yeah.
Even with the pins being gone. I know how that happens.
Right,
it's my fault for not getting there earlier. But I'm really disappointed I don't have a good finish line photo from that. And again, the 5K, I understand what happened there.
Yeah.
This I don't get. I don't understand why there's not a good finish line photo.
Yeah, the girl in front of us that did the jump, she was far enough in front of us. And we knew that, but she paused and then jumped. So it was like, at that point we couldn't go.
And again, no shade on her.
Right, yeah.
Happy for her.
Right.
Very, very happy for her. No shade at all.
Right.
Zero shade. We're just
was
commenting on why we don't have a
how
great
funny.
finish line
Yeah.
photo from that.
But, yeah.
Yeah. So, overall, it was a great Run Disney race weekend. Love the Disneyland Run Disney race weekends. Hoping and expecting that they are going to come back, and hopefully you get your opportunity here in 2, 3, maybe 4 years to run it for yourself.
Yeah, I would definitely encourage it. And once again, honey, I'm super proud of you. That was quite a big feat to take on, and you did it amazingly well. And I'm just like in awe of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Well, it was fun. It was fun. And I did better than I necessarily expected. So,
And if you were with me, you weren't going to do that speed.
no, but that's okay. I would have been fine with that too. I would have been happy to be with you.
Yeah.
I always am.
Yeah. But like you said, it's kind of like your early tip for this week, that even in the streets of Anaheim, there can be a lot of fun and joy as part of the half marathon. So.
Yeah. So in
Good
and
to
around,
know.
yeah, thank you. In and around that race weekend, we did do Disneyland. We're going to talk a lot about that next week. But once that all wrapped up, we decided to head down to our old stomping grounds of San Diego to connect with some family, some friends. We had great plans to begin with to do so much stuff down there. Then we realized after running 2 races and all the time in the parks, actually much more steps and time in the park than I necessarily expected us to do, and meeting a bunch of different people, maybe we cut back on what we're doing in San Diego. But what the good thing about that is that we had a stay at a really, really wonderful resort that we've never stayed at before. It's the Bahia Resort Hotel, which is right on Mission Bay, which is, if you know San Diego at all, there's the main San Diego Bay. That's where the cruise ships go. It's right next to the airport, right next to downtown. This is kind of a little bit north of that. It's another Bay Area recreation area. Lots of resorts on it. And this is a classic resort. As a matter of fact, it's been there since 1953. It opened in 1953. Really, we had never stayed there, been by there, seen it many times, but have never stayed there. Really great resort. Has its own private beach, has a place where you can, if you are so inclined, can rent boats, anything from a speedboat, sailboat, to just a kayak. I didn't see if they'd had paddle boards, but they may have had stand-up paddle boards there.
I think it was down further, but yeah.
Yeah. They have their own sort of stern wheeler called the Bahia Bell, which was actually right outside our room. We could see it there every day. It was great. Didn't see it sail once. I think it's kind of off season for it. We did see, I think there was some convention in town. Like people would get on board and have a party on board and then they would get off. But they didn't sail anywhere. A couple great restaurants as well. Dockside 1953, which we didn't eat at, but we heard great things about. And Bianchi Pizza and Pasta, which we did order something from. We did order a pizza from there. Michelle, what did you think about the pizza?
I thought it was great. And I love the setting. I love that they had windows out from the outside that you could watch the chefs and you could see them making your pizza, and they have that wood burning pizza oven, so it was just fun experience.
It was really good. We got the pizza and took it back to our room and really enjoyed it one night. It was fantastic. They also have a grab and go place. It's kind of like an Airstream trailer. I think it's actually called Airstream. That just quick coffees, breakfast items, and so forth there. So lots of great things to eat. One thing we decided one day to just kind of walk around the resort, because it's a fairly expansive resort, bigger than you may think. As we were walking along the beach, walking throughout it, is that they actually have 2 rescued harbor seals there. So we discovered them and we're like, whoa. And then they have their stories there. They are Gracie and Billy. Gracie was rescued there in La Jolla, not far from Mission Bay, in 2005, and has been there since that time. So it's been there more than 20 years now. And then Billy was rescued all the way up in Homer, Alaska, and brought down here in 2015 and has been there so about a little over 10 years there. But they were just living their best life in this pool, just enjoying themselves. And it was just kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are blind, so they cannot be released, into the wild. They have a vet who comes every week to check on them and make sure everything's going okay. I mean, obviously, if they've lived, with Gracie there over 20 years, things are going well. And it was just amazing to have that featured there at the resort.
Right. And obviously I say their best lives. Obviously their best lives would have been to be natural in the wild or whatever. But like you said, vision issues, other issues, they had to be rescued during this time. This is the best place for them in this situation. And for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see the picture there. I mean, they're just relaxing, kicking it back.
Kicking out in the sun.
Somehow, two of them on this one rock. I don't know how they did it, but they were very, very comfortable and having a good old time. And they were there for an extended period of time.
Right.
But they were adorable and fantastic. And it was such an extra treat that we did not expect seeing that there. So if you happen to get by the Bahia Resort in San Diego, go say hi to Billy and Gracie. Very, very fun. Yeah. What did you think about the Bahia, Michelle?
I really loved it. I wasn't quite sure. First of all, we got a really good deal because we made the reservations during, what is it called? Travel Tuesday or something like that. So that they had some specials going on. We did get a suite. So we
splurged a little bit because we didn't know what the weather was like. We knew we'd be meeting with family and friends.
Right. So it was nice that we had, our sleeping area was in a separate room. We had a combined living room, dining room area, but we also had a nice patio that had a beautiful view of the marina area. But it was just, it seemed like even though it was an older resort, they, had it refurbished. I think I had read recently that it had been refurbished and it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, it just had a nice vibe to it. And it was peaceful, but it was also a lot of fun things to see. It was, being able to look at the water there and just see nature.
Right.
It's nice.
And they do have rooms of all sorts of, anything from just standard like hotel rooms to almost like little, I don't know if you call them, what would you call the rooms that are based that are kind of like huts, not huts, but basically little 1-bedroom studios or whatever, right there on the beach and everything in between the suite that we were in. But it worked out perfectly for us, especially since we decided to spend more time in our room, that we weren't going to do as many crazy things, that we were going to relax a little bit more and try and get our legs back up. But it was great. So we enjoyed that. We got there, spent the night once we arrived. The next day we had a day with family. We got to see my mom, who came out and visited us. Then we went and saw my son, who we don't get to see nearly often enough. We don't mention him enough here. Nick, who still lives in San Diego. Had sat down, had a nice chat with him and some good coffee with
nice
him
long
as
visit.
well.
Yeah.
That was great and just enjoyed that day. The next day, we decided to go ahead and take part in something that was very, very relaxing, but classy, but nice. Michelle, what was that?
We did afternoon tea.
Yes. We too, with my mother again, went to the Westgate Hotel, which is downtown. By the way, Bahia, very convenient to get to downtown, to get to the airport, to get to a lot of different places that we visited during this. Very, very convenient. Went to this hotel, which is nostalgic for us because we used to go there all the time. Like right across from it is the Civic Center, which is where they have their Broadway style plays, the traveling companies and so forth. And we used to have season tickets. We used to go to the Westgate, have a cocktail, maybe a little meal beforehand, and then go see the show. We'd never done tea there, but we had seen it happen. It happens right in their lobby on these elegant couches, really, really nice, stylish lobby. And what did you think? You are the tea aficionado, Michelle. What did you think about tea at the Westgate?
I thought they did a great job, very traditional, what you would think in terms of each of the courses and everything. Everything was very delicious. They had nice variety of teas to try. So anything from black teas to herbal teas to green teas, etc. You'd find something that you'd like. Obviously, with the nice china, everything was great. The service was amazing. They had floral settings at each table, and it was just really elegant and beautiful. But it wasn't uncomfortable, and it wasn't like you had to dress up for this as an event. So it was great. And I have to say, the one thing I'll say about it is I had the best scone of my entire life at that tea.
Yeah, we've done a lot of teas. And And the food on this one, I'll say, was hit and miss. Some things were really, really good. Some things were just okay. Nothing bad.
Right.
Just okay. Those scones, though, were insanely good.
Yeah.
Insanely good. I agree with you. Maybe the best scones I've ever had. But the tea was really nice. They had a harp player there. Just, It was easy to talk because it wasn't super loud in there. You were separated enough from other people. It wasn't a crowded event that day anyway, but you're separated enough that, and like I said, you're in couches and chairs, so very comfortable. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It really was. Like I said, and I'm glad you brought up the harpist because it just added to that ambiance of being what you would think of a classic, really nice afternoon tea.
Right. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And that was really, really enjoyable. Spent the afternoon doing that. Came back to the resort and relaxed some more. But then our legs had rested up enough, at least enough, that we were able to go see another kind of theme park. We decided to go out to the northern eastern part of the county to a theme park that we love very, very much. It's the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Now, you know about the San Diego Zoo, probably. It's very, very famous.
World famous.
Famous zoo. You may not know about the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. It is, those of you who know Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, think about that maybe without the attractions themselves, but just focused on the animals. That is kind of what this park is. As a matter of fact, I think Disney's Animal Kingdom Park took a lot of influence from this park when they built it because it was opened well before Animal Kingdom Park was.
I mean, and it is giant. And to give some perspective, like they said, the San Diego Zoo, which is large and it's been around forever, you could fit, I think it was 18 of those into this park. So it was really spacious. And it's a park that was designed to really help with species that were endangered and trying to help bring some of them back. They have some really big success stories. One of the ones they shared was the condor.
The California condors.
California condors that was down to, I believe it was like 19 or 20, something like low double-digit numbers, and they now are over 600. So,
most of that has happened there at the park.
Right. The same thing with the white rhino that was super endangered. And I think they were down to single-digit numbers in the world. And it's the only park that they were really successful at getting them to breed and reproduce. And they think it's because of how open and spacious it is that it seemed much more natural to them.
So, I mean, both parks, the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Safari Park, Zoo Safari Park, are great. If you want to see a lot of animals in a very short time, go to the San Diego Zoo.
Right.
It's phenomenal. They do a great job with the animals there, and you can see a lot. If you want to kind of take and see them more, it's not their natural state, but a little bit more in their natural state, and kind of slowly stroll through the area and check out the entire grounds and everything. Then go to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. It's phenomenal. They do have like a tram tour. We did take the tram tour that takes you around to see all the different animals. And then they have lots of walking trails throughout that go by different habitats for all these animals. On our day they were there, the big cats were out and abundant. We saw the lions. I say up close. It's not like we were threatened of eating it, but they were there.
Yes.
And right around. Much more than you can see them at Animal Kingdom Park, by the way.
Yeah.
Cheeto was out roaming around. One time we caught him up on top of a log, almost posing for pictures. I got him just before he leapt down, and then another time he's just laying on the ground. And the tigers were out, and they were talkative.
Yes.
The tigers were very talkative on that day. But it was really, really cool.
Yeah, it was amazing to see these, like you said, these big cats that were just very active and out there, and you're pretty close to them that you can really appreciate just how phenomenal they are, And I think the other thing that's nice about the park, like you said, the tram tour, which, you could kind of compare it to the
Kilimanjaro
Safari.
A little bit different, but
yeah. So, kind of on that idea where you're winding through a lot of areas. But also, like you said, there's a lot of walking areas, and that they do try to theme them by types of animals. We got to see a platypus. Barry the platypus.
That's right. The jokes were nonstop because there was two of them. So it's a platypus. Perry the platypus. Yes, there were 2 of them. Yes,
There were 2, and there, from our understanding, they said they were the only platypus that were outside of Australia.
Well, in the United States.
In the
I don't
United
know
States.
if they in other countries, but the only 2 platypuses, whatever. They're the only 2 that were outside or in the United States.
Right.
And I did not know this. I mean, I guess they must keep them in very dark spaces because of their enclosure was very dark and it was a little bit difficult to see. But we found them and they were fun. They were they're smaller than I thought.
Much smaller than I would have
very
expected.
But it was cool. I'd never seen a platypus before in person.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
So that was really neat.
Yeah. And we did the tram tour, and again, they have a big savanna type area where a lot of the animals are roaming around, giraffes, all sorts of different type of antelopes. Just think about going to Animal Kingdom Park. Right. All those that you see there, they're all out there. We did see a baby giraffe, actually some young giraffes that were about 9 months old, and a baby giraffe that was out there as well. And it was just a really nice day going to the park, walked along. I become a bird freak, so we spent some good time in the aviary, seeing all the amazing birds there, which was really interesting and fun. One thing I will say about this park, now, if you think the prices for Disney parks food is expensive, go to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park because it's a bit more expensive. Now, a lot of that money goes to making sure that these animals are well taken care of, so fine. But if you're just looking at price wise and the quality of food, don't complain about Disney if you've been to the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Yeah. I mean, to get like a burger, a plain burger with fries, you're going to pay a lot of money.
It was like $17 or $18 or something like that.
It was insane.
It was really expensive.
Yeah, there was nothing that you could really get that was below $17.
Yeah, I think they had a special going on. Like it was seniors month there. And so like my mom took advantage of like a seniors burger deal. Right. She got a burger and fries for $13, which sounds like a great deal compared to everything else there.
But it was the size of a McDonald's
burger. No, didn't look. I tried some of her fries. Her fries were fine. I didn't try her burger, but it did not look outstanding to me. But that's okay. I get it. Again, they're taking a lot of that funding and taking care of the animals, which I'm all for 100%. So, it was a really great day out at that park. I love that park very, very much. We used to go there fairly regularly. And it was good to get back there and see it again and see it because it's changed a bit since we were last there and how it's evolved. And I like it a lot.
Yeah. The layout has changed a little bit. I think one of the things that was predominant that we saw in that park is that if you are a local and you can have an annual pass, that's a great place to go and just do a portion of the area, at each visit. And then, because doing the whole day is a lot. You wouldn't have wanted to do that right after the half marathon.
No. There's a lot of hills.
Yeah.
It's a trek to do right after that. I'm glad we had a couple days in between.
Yes. And the other thing that, we also, mainly because of, giving legs a rest, but we also were looking at the weather and with the Santa Anas and the temperatures being pretty hot. This is an area that's very hot and dry. Typically, the day we picked, I think, was perfect. It was warm, but it wasn't super hot.
I think the day before it was like up in the upper 80s.
Yes.
This day was in like the upper 70s, which was really, really perfect.
Yeah, it was just amazing.
And there's a lot of shady areas and everything as you're walking along these trails and plenty of benches. Like if you get, if you're with somebody or if you yourself gets winded walking up these hills and on these trails and just need to take a seat for a little bit, lots of benches, a lot of shady benches available for you at different spots along the way. We took advantage of those many, many times. Yeah,
and I think that's one of the big changes from when we used to go out there, that it was not as much shade in a lot of areas. So that's great that they've done that.
Yeah, but if you're going to San Diego, would highly recommend you adding it to your trip. Now, it's not easy to get to. It's not like if you're going to main part of San Diego, it's not close by. The zoo is. This is way up north and east. You can obviously, ride share there, but it's going to cost you a bit. Rent a car for the day or whatever to get there. It's worth it. It's worth it if you're looking for a day to do something in San Diego. Highly recommended. Especially, but be careful because again, it does get hot out there. This is not. You'll think of most of San Diego as this beautiful, wonderful climate. This is inland a bit more, and yeah, it can get very, very warm. So know that going in. Hydrate. So that was pretty much it. We did that, got back, enjoyed the night in our room. And then the next day it was time to unfortunately fly home. Yes. Very sad flight home, but the good news about our flight home, no issues. Left pretty much, maybe just a smidge late, but really no issues. Got back, no problems. Yeah, our trip home was smooth and wonderful and excellent. And we got back home, took a day yesterday, and now we're here recording with you.
Yes. And our luggage, both directions, made it okay with no problems. So that was good. And yeah, it was quite a trip.
Yeah. Great trip.
Yeah,
loved it. And we have more to tell you about Disneyland. There's so much to tell you about Disneyland. We'll be talking about that.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
For sure. But that is kind of our recap, part one of our West Coast adventure, Disneyland race weekend in San Diego.
Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. I don't want to stop at all.
So much fun on the West Coast. We have another segment to go on that next week, and we knew we'd have so much that we would go long. That's why we're splitting it up. But that's okay because we had a lot of fun, right, Michelle?
Oh, yeah. And we can talk a lot.
And it could be the smallest topic, and we're going to talk for an hour on it. But that's okay. That's okay. Hopefully you appreciate that. Hopefully you do. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to those Disney stories of the week. I do have a few for you this week, including we're going to start with, we have a not so surprising change of leadership announcement for the Walt Disney Company. Yes, this came from the LA Times. They said the Walt Disney Company announced on Tuesday that Josh D'Amaro will become the company's next CEO in March, replacing current chief executive Bob Iger when he steps down for the role this year. This was not a surprise to anybody, right?
Right. They've been kind of talking about this more recently quite a bit.
Yeah. It seemed a little up in the air whether it be him, whether it be Dana Walden. There was a couple other names thrown out there, but I think more recently over the last few months, it's been, it's going to be Josh D'Amaro. Good. It's fine. D'Amaro, he's 54. He's still young, which I like. Not that that matters, but I kind of like that he's a bit younger. Obviously, Bob Iger, a bit older. Now we have a different viewpoint going into this. Yeah. He joined the company in 1998, so he's been around for a while. He's been, of course, the chair of Disney's Experiences unit. He oversees the global network of theme parks and hotel resorts, the cruise line, all of that. He also leads the company's cruise ships and consumer products, among other initiatives. D'Amaro formally takes over as CEO on March 18th at Disney's annual shareholder meeting.
Yeah, day after St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, there you go. Of course, look, I like Josh D'Amaro a lot. I think he brings a lot to the table, and I think that this is overall. I think I kind of love the youth he's bringing into it. He's been around for long enough. I love how he interacts with guests and everything else. Hopefully, he takes on the love of Disney. I think he has that love of Disney and knows its history, and I believe he'll bring that to the table, Michelle.
Yeah, I also like that he definitely appreciates the importance of getting feedback from guests. Over the years, we've seen many evidence of him being in the parks, talking to guests, getting their feedback, and, seeing that is important to make sure whatever you're delivering is meeting, the expectations of the guests. So I like that he has that perception and is, I'm sure, going to make sure it's included into the culture.
Yeah, and I think Bob Iger did some great things for the company, but I feel like as he's aged, gone away, come back, that I don't know if his viewpoint is the correct for the modern evolving Walt Disney Company now. So I'm glad there's going to be kind of, he's 54, but we're saying some youth injected into that position, which I think is very, very important. Yet someone who knows the parks, which I feel like the parks are extremely important to this. We all know the parks are extremely important to us, but just in general, The parks are very, very important as an injection of financial and importance to this company. And so somebody who knows the parks, I think, is an important person to be in that role.
Right. And a lot of things he did with his position were things that touched people directly, so like merchandise, the cruise industry, like you said, the parks, everything that kind of had a direct impact with the guests. Was what he was overseeing. And I think he's brought a lot of great things. I mean, people love Disney. And, one of the things that, and I can't remember the exact percentage, but what they were talking about at one of the D23 events is that most people experience Disney not in the parks, but through things like merchandise and obviously the film industry, et cetera. And yes, Bob Iger was good at building the company, bringing in Pixar and Star Wars and Marvel.
And connecting with the entertainment industry because he was so well affiliated within the entertainment industry when he took over that role.
Right. And obviously with, he came from ABC, so television and Disney Plus, et cetera. So there's a great large foundation now that's there that Josh is going to be overseeing. And I'm glad that large portion of, guest experience is something that he has such intimate experience with.
Here's what Bob Iger had to say about it in a statement. He said, Josh D'Amaro is an exceptional leader and the right person to become our next CEO. Glad Iger's saying that. I hope he believes it this time. I don't know if he believed it the last time he stepped down. He has an instinctive appreciation of the Disney brand and a deep understanding of what resonates with our audiences, paired with the rigor and attention to detail required to deliver some of our most ambitious projects. His ability to combine creativity with operational excellence is exemplary, and I'm thrilled for Josh and the company. Now, this is why I really, really like this, is because in a concurrent move, the Walt Disney Company named, we just mentioned her, Dana Walden as the company's president and chief creative officer. I feel, and I think you agree with this, Michelle, when Disney is at its best in its leadership, there are two different personalities there. Someone who can kind of be person with the parks, someone who can be kind of a face, and someone that can offer another aspect of this. And I really think now in modern Disney, you need to have someone that is in touch with what's going on in the parks and very much in touch what's going on with the entertainment industry. That is Dana Walden. I love that those two are they're not co-CEOs, but they kind of are. And I love that that is going to be the situation going forward.
Right. When we saw, back in the 80s and 90s with Michael Eisner and Frank Wells, they were great together, Even
going back to Walt and Roy, of course.
Right, right. Yeah, that, like you said, the history of having a strong pair of leaders to help, this very large organization. And both of those individuals, like you said early on, they and like what Bob Iger said, they respect the brand. And I think they're both going to be able to help bring a lot to what the company offers and supporting each other.
Support each other, checks and balances on each other. I mean, I think there's a lot of real important reasons why having kind of this two-headed lead is really, really important. Walden previously served as the head of Disney's entertainment, media, news, and content businesses, including its streaming service, which is also very, very important.
Right.
So I really like it wasn't just, here's D'Amaro, he's the CEO, we're going forward. Not that would have been terrible,
right,
but the fact that you have somebody who really understands the entertainment aspect of it and somebody who really understands the parks and experiences aspect of it could be a really, really perfect marriage. We'll see, but I have high hopes for it.
Yeah, it seems like it is setting up for that great pairing to be so successful.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah.
Starting March 18th. By the way, Bob Iger is going to step back for a little bit. He's still going to be kind of on the board till the end of the year. Then he'll be, hopefully going. I'm not saying hopefully like I dislike Bob Iger or anything about what he's done with the company, but Bob, it's time.
Yeah.
Take your time off Enjoy yourself. You do not need to be part of the company. If somebody wants to run something by you, they'll give you a call. Okay. I'm sure he'll be there to answer, tomorrow's call or Walden's call or whatever it might be. But hopefully, let's take the hands out of the cookie pot a little bit.
Yeah. For people to be successful, you have to let them lead. And if you interfere with that, then you start getting where personalities and conflicts arise.
Right. 100%.
We've seen that not work for the company.
So all in all, I think you agree with me that this was a good announcement and good news for the company going forward.
Yeah, very happy with it.
Very happy. Very happy. Speaking of happy, if you're looking to add some happy haunts to your wedding guest list, well, we have some good news for you. This came from the Disney Parks blog. They said, for decades, Disney fans have loved posing in front of the iconic Haunted Mansion attraction at Disneyland Park. And beginning on July 2026, couples will now be able to tie the knot here too. I don't know about you, but what do you think about a Haunted Mansion wedding, Michelle? You want to renew your vows at the Haunted Mansion?
Personally, I probably wouldn't do that, but I respect people who love that. There are some people who have such love and connection with the Haunted Mansion, and it's part of their being. I totally support that and cheer them on.
Absolutely. I think it's 100%. So fun. And I love the Haunted Mansion. I don't want to get married in front of it, but I totally get why someone would want to do that.
Yes.
Anyway, for the first time, Disney's Fairy Tale Weddings and Honeymoons is adding Haunted Mansion Courtyard to its collection of more than a dozen wedding venues at the Disneyland Resort. With its towering columns and eerily enchanting facade, this spirited venue offers a dramatic backdrop for couples seeking a destination wedding or vow renewal, with a fun storytelling twist. Haunted Mansion Courtyard is available for early morning ceremonies. Know that,
Very early.
Yep. The courtyard can accommodate up to 25 guests, and the package includes a dedicated officiant, light decor, photography, and transportation to and from a Disneyland Resort hotel. So not bad. Couples can also exchange vows nearby at Magnolia Park Terrace, an elegant spot located just steps away with a different view of Haunted Mansion. So a couple possible opportunities there to get married in front of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
Yeah, I think that other one was added probably about a year ago, or it's when
that's not new.
Yeah, it's not brand new, but it was after they redid that area, the queue area.
Yeah.
And it's lovely as well. So yeah, I think those are great options. Again, especially if you're having a small, intimate affair there, that is some really good options for you.
Mm-hmm. And just as a reminder, couples interested in a Haunted Mansion themed wedding at sea can get married inside the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Disney Destiny starting in May of this year. So you can do that as well. So there's all sorts of ways to have your nuptials in a little bit of a spooky style.
Happy haunts.
Yep, absolutely. So that's very, very cool. Moving on, if you've enjoyed We Call It Imagineering on YouTube, but have had struggles tracking it down, maybe all the episodes, well, I know when I get on YouTube, I'm like, where is that? We call it Imagineering. Where is we find it?
Where's the official one?
Find it, yeah. But it takes a little time. Well, good news is that as of now, it's already started this week. They are all 7 episodes of We Call It Imagineering are on Disney Plus. So if you want to step into the world and see what the amazing Disney Imagineers are doing, they're right there on Disney Plus for you now.
Yeah, I love that. It's the convenient way to find it and to watch them.
Yep. Again, I'm old, okay? I have struggles trying to track down things on YouTube regularly. So I'm happy that we can now just go to Disney Plus and find it.
Well, my issue is I've always found it right away, but it's not the official one. So it's like somebody else is there and they're talking over it and everything. I'm like, no, I want the official one.
Yep. So that's good news.
Yes.
Finally, as we all know, #Real Men Love Frozen, and that includes Frozen Ever After. Well, good news. It will be reopening this week after a surprisingly short refurbishment where they updated the audio animatronics to the more sophisticated style. No more projection faces on this attraction. Your first chance to check it out will be this coming Thursday, February 12th. Very, very excited for this. I loved Frozen Ever After, even with the projection faces. I didn't have an issue with it, but I'm excited for these new, more updated animatronics within it.
I agree. I have to say the projection faces were something that I wasn't a big fan of, so I am looking forward to this updated version. It was obviously not something that would spoil the experience, but this is great, and I'm glad they did it. And like you said, in record time, I think it only closed towards the end of January.
Like only a month, yeah. It might not even been a whole month. It was not very long.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's it's just taking out one animatronic and putting another one in and making sure it works.
Right.
But still, it's not like they're changing the attraction significantly other than that. But still pretty impressive that they did that quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's it for the Disney stories of the week. However, we never leave you without giving you some sort of tip that might help you on your next vacation. And when we do this, well, of course, we start with Michelle because she's wonderful, fantastic, all things good in the world. You know, she does the best research. She definitely plans the best West Coast trips. She also has always the very best tips. So let's get to it. Here's Michelle's tip of the week.
Well, thank you, honey. This tip is a way to maybe save you some money. If you're planning a vacation over at Walt Disney World and you're expecting or wanting to rent a stroller for your visits in the parks, well, they actually have a prepay option, and that is actually saves you several dollars per day. And what's really nice about renting those in the parks is when you go from park to park, you don't have to worry about moving that stroller. In fact, you really can't take it out of the park. But you can, if you go to another park or even to Disney Springs, show your receipt and you can get another stroller at that other location. So you're saving money and you have that convenience to move around with it. Now, if you want to have one for your entire trip where you're not, going out of the park and having to get another one, there are some ways to do that. Disney has partner vendors that will deliver and pick up, strollers to your Disney resort. Since that can change, the best thing I would recommend is going to the Walt Disney World website and look at what their current vendors are to know who to connect with.
It's very important because we saw this on our flight. That was very, people had to, they're going on these long trips. They're bringing their stroller with them. There were people that didn't care that their luggage wasn't coming off the plane, but they did care that they did not have their stroller for their little ones. It's a very important, being able to travel, maybe not necessarily wanting to bring a big bulky stroller with you as you're going through and trying to do these different things, or, whatever it might be. The convenience of being able to get your own stroller when you're out there for whether it's just a one-day visit or a visit to different parks or for the entire trip. That's great. And it's very nice that Disney offers that to you.
Yeah. And hopefully if you're going to do that, you could save a few dollars.
You absolutely want to try and save as many dollars as you can.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of money to go to Disney. So anywhere you can cut a corner here and there, it's a good thing for sure.
Exactly.
For sure. As for my tip this week, well, we've mentioned it already many, many times. Disneyland race weekends are going to be paused for at least the next 2, 3, 4 years. Hopefully they come back. However, if you are aching for an early morning event through the Disneyland parks with lots of incredible energy, let me introduce you to the Chalk Walk. Yes, there is another way. We've talked about it on the show, probably not for a few years, but we have talked about it on our show in the past. And it is there for you. And it is still going to be going on even while this construction is going on. They will still be doing this. If you don't know what the Chalk Walk is, it's CHOC, CHOC. That stands for the Children's Hospital of Orange County. So all the benefits of this go towards helping the Children's Hospital of Orange County. Really, really important,
Yes.
Of course. If you want to register for this, all you need to do is go to the website, register, and you either need to fundraise $125 per person that you want to take part in this, or you can fundraise from yourself and just pay $125, and then you can get in. There's also a $10 registration fee on top of that. If you can fundraise more and raise more money. As a matter of fact, there are extra rewards if you raise more money. If you do $375, you actually get a ticket to the park you can use as well. You just need to fundraise by the time of actual check-in for the event. So you can register and then still fundraise and pay it off later. The shirts that come with it. It's an amazing event full of lots of energy. It's a walk, not a run. So those of you who are concerned about running through the parks, doesn't matter. It's still early in the morning, but it's so much energy. We've done it a couple times. It's great. There's also discounts. So even if you don't earn enough to go to the park or don't want to buy a ticket, there's discounts at Downtown Disney associated with it. The 2025 Chalk Walk took place on August 3rd. They haven't announced the 2026 yet, but it's usually right around that same time period. And the announcement of that usually comes somewhere in the spring. So over the next couple months, that should be coming to you. So again, great cause, great event. We've done it. If we were still in Southern California, we'd probably be doing it again this year. It's amazing, and you should take part in it.
Yeah, it's another one of those, a lot of great energy, because everybody there understands the importance of this fundraiser, and they're enthusiastic about it. You'll see a lot of families whose children had, maybe lengthy stays in the hospital, and so they want to kind of give back in appreciation. And it's just really, like Tom said, a wonderful, warm event that is just an exceptional experience.
Right. And you can do it individually. You can do it as a family. You can sign up on a giant team if you want. You still need to fundraise for everybody, but you can form teams as well. It's great. Themed shirts, talking, this is, we're doing this for this person, whatever it might be. It is so much energy. And yes, the characters are in the parks, all the stuff that you get in Run Disney, maybe even more so because it's walking. So people are taking more time to go through it. It's all there for you. Do it. Definitely do it. If you can get to Southern California during that time period, or if you live in the Southern California area, look into it. I think it was brought up to us again that, we haven't talked about it in a while, and we should. So we're going to start looking for a guest to bring on to talk about it when the next one starts approaching. So yeah, look for that. But it's an amazing event. So definitely do it. And especially those of you who are missing the Disneyland race weekends. It's not a race, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it for this week's show. Next week, well, yes, do you believe there's more? We'll be sharing more of our West Coast adventure with you. It will revolve all around our visit to the happiest place on earth. We'll talk about many of the 70th anniversary fun we had, including a couple of guided tours we took, Paint the Night Parade, World of Color and Happiness, including the dessert party, all sorts of other Disneyland fun. We'll be talking a lot about that, including maybe some people we connected with that were fun over the week as well. So that's all coming next week.
Yeah.
As for this week's show, we appreciate that you join us today. In the future, you can find us most everywhere you get podcasts. However, the very best place to find us is on our own website, HyperionAdventuresPodcast.com. And while you're there,
please sign up for the newsletter.
I'll bet Michelle will have a new newsletter coming out this week.
Absolutely, yes.
It's all full of Michelle-ness, so you will want to sign up for the newsletter. Also, we are on social media. We're on #AlwaysTwitter and Blue Sky at Hyperion Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. If you are on Facebook, come on over and join us for some good, positive Disney energy fun on our Hyperion Adventurers Facebook group. Also, we are on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to find us there, we're at Hyperion Adventures Podcast. And if you ever want to contact us for any reason, including you say you have a half marathon pin that you want to sell me, we are at HyperionAdventuresPodcast@gmail.com.
And we appreciate everybody who subscribes. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, we really would appreciate it. And also, if you could tell a friend.
Yes. Please tell a friend. It's the best way to get the word of mouth out there that this show exists, and it's that some people might enjoy it. And thank you to everybody who has ever done that. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Hyperion Adventures Podcast. We look forward to sharing some time with you again next week. Until that time, I'm Tom.
I'm Michelle.
And we hope that you have a magical week.